pressed for details into how and why the shooting happened. It's certainly a tragedy at one of Indiana's most famed universities. Called IOSHA today to see if they've been called in and if they have any plans to investigate. I'm still waiting to hear back. Why are you taking advantage of people that already have so little? Meet Adam Scott. Why are you running away?
Daryl with ABC 57 News. Are you guys aware that you're selling what appears to be illegal drugs and counterfeit merchandise?
Police continue to surround the building and investigators are still inside collecting evidence. Wet snow like this is much heavier than the powdery stuff we've been getting all winter long. Half dozen fire trucks, ambulances, and the like trying to put out hot spots.
No easy task. They estimate less than 1 in 4 people have enough information about the Affordable Care Act.
Part of the problem is getting big banks like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to manage their own property. City officials say they've essentially laid down, stonewalling any serious solution. Local food banks worry they may not be able to meet all the need. If any litter is left on the riverbank, no one is responsible for cleaning it up. That lack of accountability is frustrating some anglers. I've been stuck so many times today, I've lost count. I'm actually stuck right now. But this is the reality for drivers up here. Folks I talked with say it's ridiculous.
It's real bad out here.
I just think it's not enough help, that's all.
Get out here, get this stuff up.
Benton Harbor residents are furious about the condition of their streets. A winter storm pounded this town and the rest of Michiana earlier this week, but 5 days later, most streets are still completely impassable. I talked with dozens of people stranded here, helping a few folks out along the way, and so did folks like Dennis Hardenet.
The level of the snow is so high you can't see what's coming.
He's one of many in the city who want to know why residential streets haven't been cleared yet. Some roads are so bad that if you stop, you're stuck. I learned that the hard way, spending more than 20 minutes trying to dig myself out before an officer and Good Samaritan finally helped me out.
Keep going! Really, really bad. I was on Dollar Ride this morning. We got stuck twice.
You can't get through. It's hard. You constantly getting stuck everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And, the city ain't coming out and helping, though. They just, just leaving everybody stranded.
Today, we wanted to know why the roads are still this bad. I went straight to City Hall for answers. I wanted to know how many plows were out and if any relief was in sight. But Public Works, the mayor, and even the emergency financial manager weren't available.
Go!
Meaning drivers are on their own, relying on the generosity and good nature of one another to get through this.
Because I would want to be helped if it was me.
Now, I did see several plows out today, very few of them on the side streets, though. I reached out to the city of Benton Harbor today to see if recent budget problems had anything to do with that. I'm still waiting on a call back. The owner, Brian, but in 1 out of every 4 cases, that doesn't happen. It's an expensive process, and simply put, many owners just don't have that kind of money, which means dozens of these homes end up sitting untouched for years. The chemicals used to make methamphetamine are not only flammable, but highly reactive too. Exposure to the drug's toxic vapors over any period of time is dangerous.
It is a significant health issue.
Headaches, kidney damage, birth defects, and even cancer, all from the chemical residue left inside homes after meth making. So why then?
Anyone up there?
Would people choose to break the law and risk living in contaminated houses?
They just may not have a place to go.
It's a question we started investigating when the snow was still on the ground. We knocked on 3 dozen condemned meth properties in Elkhart County, found several instances where people appeared to be living inside. Not only a significant health hazard, but a violation of state law as well.
Every situation is different.
Nevis Vijay is a qualified drug lab inspector. He's called in to take samples and determines whether a house is safe to live in. If it's not, it has to be scrubbed down, re-inspected, a process that can cost more than $10,000.
It's not the easiest process in the world. You have to hire people who are certified to do the work, and afterwards there just comes a cost for each homeowner, and not everybody has that type of money sitting around.
For some families, it's the only place they can call home.
There's nothing we can do about it.
This young girl and her siblings live below an apartment raided in May of last year. The vapors were so intense, they were forced to move out for a few weeks while the owner aired out the top.
We were allowed to come back in.
Because they don't share an air duct, they can live in the same contaminated house.
And that can get complicated because these old houses have been changed and renovated, so now they hold multi-units.
Tara Still says 75% of the homes busted for meth get cleaned up. Environmental Health Services monitor the others as best they can, checking on them once a month. But inspectors and police can't be there 24 hours a day.
It doesn't sound like there's an immediate solution.
Other than standing empty and just keeping people out of them, No.
leaving the health department with little power to cool what's become a growing problem. Still depends on good communication between neighbors and police.
And they drive by these properties and they monitor, and it may be one that they're looking at already. And if you can tell them certain days or times when something more activity, then that's just more help for them.
Church, corner store, church, corner store. In some parts of South Bend, it's hard to tell which ones had the bigger impact.
You either kill people slowly or you kill them quickly.
And quickly is how some business owners operate. I spent weeks gearing up and going undercover to expose what's become a real problem in Michiana. Food marts, gas stations, and other pop-up shops that sell suspicious products. It turns out buying a bag of this is as easy as buying a bag of this. Eye blown. Products like these are labeled as potpourri, but it's doubtful they're being used that way.
People just get real apathetic about, I don't see where change is going to happen, so I'm not going to say anything else.
Carl Nichols is determined to change those apathetic attitudes. He and others at the St. Joseph Minority Health Coalition are pushing for tougher regulation on food marts, but it's a fight the group is struggling to win.
These fines don't equal the amount of money they make from the other activities that go on there.
And what goes on there is nothing short of disgraceful.
I'm 7H Diablo Hydro.
A kid at the Howard Street Food Mart selling me a $5 bag of what appears to be synthetic weed, along with polos that don't appear legit and name brand jeans sold on the cheap.
Don't you guys lose money? Like when it's $3.30, you sell for $30?
No, that's not right. That's not right.
Maybe this is why a side-by-side comparison shows a few discrepancies. The one on the left is authentic. I found differences in the other brand's stitching, font, and origin label.
Even if he was doing that, I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's impossible to tell what's going on there.
We don't need that in this neighborhood. This is a good neighborhood, you know?
The same neighborhood Michael Parcher has lived in for more than 4 decades. Disgusted, he wants Howard's Food Mart to get it together or leave.
Well, you know what? I hope you can do something about it.
So I confronted store employees.
How's it going? Daryl with ABC 57 News. Are you guys aware that you're selling what appears to be illegal drugs and counterfeit merchandise?
They play dumb. We showed them what they sold us. They outright denied it. Some employees avoided cameras. When we pressed the cashier, he claimed a language barrier.
English, you know.
I gotcha. Well, you speak enough English to sell it, so one would think that you would have enough English to know what it is.
Across town at Rick's Gas in Mishawaka, it was a different story.
I just feel like you're better than this.
Yeah, we are a lot better than that, man.
When we confronted the owner there, he promised to talk with his business partner and stop selling this possible pot immediately.
And we have to start with the owners of the stores to step up and become better business owners.
But Nichols knows all too well promises alone aren't enough. He says without some sort of policy change, these munchie marts will keep feeding off the community.